First thing I want to talk about is stance width. We've already talked about the fact in the game of football you need those legs up and under you, those feet up and under you for balance, leverage, mobility, power, all the things football is all about. In the game of snapping, you usually want to take a basic stance and go maybe 4, 6, 8 inches wider than that so you got more clearance, no interruption, no interference trying to throw the ball through your legs. You have really long legs relative to your torso, relative to your arms. So we've accepted the fact that you want to get a little bit wider than the average bear. The concerns I have is if you get too wide, the tension in the hip flexors, the high center of gravity, the locked knees at the finish, the inability to actually capture the lower body motion energy and channel it into the hips towards your target, that kind of thing. If you get too wide, you're going to run into all those problems. What I want to do is just make sure that your feet are stable up and under you, that you're able to drive aggressively into the hips, and that you're able to do something after the snap. Okay? You're finishing now with a high center of gravity and locked knees. Quick path to a short career, number one. High center of gravity is going to cause you to lose a lot of battles on the football field. So we're going to want to get you driving and at the finish to break down. Let's have you set up facing the camera. Let's see what your stance width looks like right now. Okay. Does it feel comfortable? Okay, reach out and grab the ball. Okay. There's no pressure in the hip flexors here, right? We want the load bearing on the quads. And with the toes slightly outward, you're going to be able to drive back in the hips very effectively. If you're not comfortable with that, you can do toes straight in the future, okay? Go ahead and stand up, step back to where you were. The other things that we saw coming into camp, tall in the saddle. We know you're stiff in the hips. We know you can't sit down as much as a lot of guys can. But you're a little bit too tall on the back end. That's keeping you a little bit too far away from the ball, given the shorter arms and torso, number one. You're kind of underextended. You got the ball close to you because you're stiff arm because of that shortness issue. But you're tall back here. You're getting a little bit of leg drive, but you're kind of hopping. We talked about that, didn't we, that you're kind of hopping?
Yep.
Okay. And what we need to be doing instead of hopping is actually driving back towards our target. The other things that we see is you're a little bit weight forward. You're kind of up on your toes, which means that you got too much weight forward to the center of gravity. As you go through the snap, you start falling forward. As you finish the snap, tall center of gravity, all of your weight is forward, which means there's going to be nothing you can do but fall forward at the finish. One part of that is that you're popping up early. Okay? When you pop up early, you send half your energy in the wrong direction. We want all our motion energy channeling back towards our target. Okay? Number one. Number two, popping up causes you to cut short the follow through. You're not getting your hands through the target as well as you could if we can keep you down a little longer. The squishy ball is the solution to that. Okay. Now, being the ball close under you and kind of stiff armed, you've got to kind of lift it up and then throw it. You can't get it. You don't have a natural starting throwing position, so you're throw hitching too. Right. Most of that can be corrected by getting you set up right. I want to try to get you a little deeper on the back end, get you a little closer to the ball, get the ball a little further out in front of you, get you balanced. Actually, not further in front of you. I'm sorry. Move the knees back over the toes. I spoke exactly oppositely. And get you to a point where you're in a more natural throwing position. Let's go ahead and set you up. We'll three-step you the first time. You ready? Okay. First thing I'm going to do is pull you forward. Lean on the ball when you need to. That gets your knee bend to 90 degrees or less, straightens the back, fully extends the arms. Then I'm going to raise you up, maximizing operating room under your torso. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push you back into the hips towards your target, not down to the ground. Till the heels touch the ground, knees are over the toes, you're solid on your feet. Now I'm trying to settle you down a little. If it's too much, you tell me. Does that feel comfortable? Okay, give it a good, hard, aggressive throw. Okay, lots of power. You still have that slight pickup. Let's do a couple other things to see if we can't fix that, okay? So rather than three-step you, I'm just going to show you what we're working on. Okay? Pushing you down a little bit, shifting your weight to get the knees over the toes, which is moving you further from the ball, which actually improves arm extension slightly. Now I'm going to move it a little further.
Okay.
As long as you don't feel tense, or as long as we don't see a shift in weight, we've got some leeway to move the ball forward there.
Okay.
All right? That right there is a more natural throwing position. We can experiment with tilt to try to minimize the pick up and throw. Let's give it a throw and see what happens. Okay? Better, right? Do me a favor, quicken up the throw. I want you to do a couple of things. I want you to lead with the arms, which means pull the elbows through, then pull the hands through to a position about 1.5 feet behind your rear end. Pull through. And you can actually practice that by simply doing this. And then throwing, okay? You can also get a box put the ball in the box and snap out of the box. If you're lifting it up, you're going to whack it and it's going to screw everything up. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope that mic is adjusted right. I might have been just covering it up. Okay, let's do that one more time. So we're just sitting you down a little bit on the rear end. We're moving you closer to the ball, shifting the weight to get you balanced, improving your arm extension, and then pull through with the elbows. Try it slowly a couple times. Yeah, now try a throw. That's better. It's going to take some work. This stuff doesn't fix overnight. But those are really the options I think we've got. You might also want to try tilting the ball slightly more or flattening the ball out. I think tilt it up a little bit. That may help you a ton because that's your natural throwing start position. Okay, so get set and then just tilt them, not on the nose of course, but tilt the ball up a little more. See if you can throw it more smoothly down and through that way. Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah. Let's increase ball tilt a little bit, okay? You got any questions on that stuff? Okay, I want you to snap one more. Let's make sure you're keeping your head down by putting the squishy ball underneath. Now you're a blind snapper. This doesn't always work for a blind snapper. Try it. If you don't like it, there's one other technique we can use. Tilt that ball a little more. Sit balanced. Down and through nice and aggressively. Okay, now again, don't finish stiff-kneed. Break it back down so you're in a fundamentally sound position from which you can block or cover the field. Let's get rid of the squishy ball. We're going to use the opposite technique because a guy who's blind snaps, it doesn't always work. I'm just going to hold this ball over your head. If you raise up, you're going to tap against it and be aware. Okay? Go ahead. Just to remind you. There it is. You stayed down and through. Where'd the ball go? Because you stayed down through, it went straight back towards your target. All your motion energy went down the spine, up the legs, into the hips, converged in an arrow point. It went exactly where the arrow was pointed, which was right into the waist of the hip of your punter. Did it feel good? Yeah. It should have. Let's do one more of those because that was just outstanding. Look how stable and balanced you are on your feet. You're no longer falling over. It's great to cover the field, but if you're covering up bad habits like being off balance, you're never going to be the snapper you could be without being stable. Excellent. Okay. Popped up a tiny bit that time. You tapped into this, but you get the idea. You got any questions? Okay, let's. All right, so what we're doing here, Ron, we sat you down a little bit, got you narrowed down a little bit, working on the throw hitch. We got you a little tall. You actually got a bug on you. There we go. We got you a little tall on the back. You started to rear hitch a touch, so let's fix that too. Let's get you set up nice and good and give you a great finish to camp. You feel comfortable? Yep. Don't feel overextended? Quick and through, knuckles to the blades of grass or elbows through the legs. Looking good. Sometimes you're just trying to over muscle the football. You don't need any more velocity than you got, okay? Better. See the difference in accuracy and result as well? Yep.